Welcome to On the Corner. This is a preference to the video you are about to watch. We decided, and it was probably unanimous, that we should run what we recorded straight through without any edits, and then just to see, wanted you to see how funny some of the behind the scenes things are that happens as we record them. Normally I would edit all this stuff out, but today we are going to run it as is, and you can kind of see what happens behind the scenes. We are recording. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of On the Corner in Marion, Kansas. And we have as our host today is...
Keep rolling. Keep that baby rolling.
You guys are going to have to have...
Hello, I'm Mike Powers. This is Chris Mercer.
I'm Christy Mercer.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this...
You can't do it.
I am not going to leave this on there. I'm going to cut all this out.
I hope you're keeping a bloopers of this, and we can watch it at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what you keep these for the end of the year. Our blooper show.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to do it.
you should do it.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to this edition of On the Corner in downtown Marion. And we have a couple of guys here with us today that's going to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Chris Mercer and Mike Powers. What do you say, guys?
What's up, G?
Well, first I would say that's probably the best intro he's done ever on this show.
Yes.
But it followed 4 straight incredible failures.
Bloopers.
I'm sweating from laughing at him. But hey, Gene, good to see you, bud.
Yeah. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful day in Marion, Kansas. It is, I don't know what the temp is, 65, 68, something like that.
Well, it's Friday today, but
Yeah.
we'll be posting this for Monday. But yes, Friday today is
bright
amazing.
and sunny and beautiful after about a solid week of rainy, cloudy, dreary days. It is nice. And hopefully this is a precursor to some nice weather that'll lead right into Chingawassa days next weekend, which next weekend will be June 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit here with some Chingawassa Days representatives. But big weekend coming up for Marion, Kansas.
Spread the word and get your buttons.
Yeah. If you haven't gotten your buttons, you better get them. I guess you can buy them at the gate because I think the cheap period's over, isn't it? Yeah.
June 1st.
June 1st.
June 1st. Okay, so you've got a
couple days.
When this comes out.
yeah.
It'll
Today, when you're watching this, you better run
It'll be too
to
late.
somewhere and get yourself a button. If you beg hard enough, you say, "I saw it on the corner," and people are going to say, "What corner?" So anyway, life is good in Marion right now. Things are going well, I think. I know we've got some, you can talk about it in just a minute. We've got some kids going to Wichita. Would be, again, this will come out on Monday, but the preceding weekend. So coming up here, kids going to Wichita for the state track meet.
State track. We have several that are going, really representing our schools.
And very sad, Grant and Deanna Tiroff will be, I think, with that, coaching their last events of any sort for Marion Florence School District, and I hate to see that. Both of them, think about both of them, in addition to being good coaches, very good coaches, they were good teachers, very good teachers.
Agreed.
And, there's a good, and they came as a package deal. So
Right.
Marion has benefited from having them more than a few years back. When it was Grant's last season, he had announced his retirement as football coach. He stayed on with track, and he also then ended up doing cross country. But did a little research on his coaching record, and over the course of his, and I don't remember, but 20 years, whatever, how long he coached, he had very, very few losing seasons. And even if they were losing seasons, they were always competitive seasons.
Right.
And his overall record, I think, was like 6.5 wins a season. When a 9-game season, that means you're winning about 2/3 of your games on average. And that's one thing, I guess, if you're coaching in a private school that maybe has some control over what athletes walk through the door. When you're in a small town and you're just dealing with whatever kids happen to be in the high school, to be able to, sometimes you're going to have classes that are a bunch of academic geniuses but aren't so athletic. You'll have a group of studs come through and whatever. But to consistently be competitive and a team that others have to really prepare for is quite a statement to him. And I know Deanna was beloved by the girls that she coached.
Yep.
That's all in all, they were a great package, and I hate to see them go. But
Yeah,
I wish them
agreed.
well up in Tonganoxie. They'll be around all their kids.
And I'll tell you what, I've had 3 kids go through both of them as teachers of some sort through their young careers and high school careers, and they've enjoyed them as teachers. So, I mean, you get the package, you get their the coaching package, and they also raise their kids here as well, and they were part of the community. So, cheers to them, and hope retirement treats them well. So,
Gene?
3, 2, 1.
Kind of moving on, Chris. Let's talk a little bit about Memorial Day last weekend. Of course, it was a rainy weekend, but did have some times that it was decent. And I know you were part of the crew that went down for the Kiwanis Club to the cemetery.
yes.
Go ahead without me. I'm gonna talk about the Kiwanis Club and the cemetery and the flags, and then mention that Tim Markovic and Stephen, what's Stephen's last name? The electrical guy.
Let's go grab yourself. Go. You got any water in your truck or anything?
I do.
There
I
you
do.
go.
That's a good idea.
Three, two, one.
So, Chris, we've got Memorial Day just behind us, and while it was a dreary and rainy one for the most part, there were some breaks where some people, I think, got out and had maybe an opportunity to decorate graves and think about the people that Memorial Day are all about.
Yeah.
And I know you were part of the crew that went to the cemetery for the Kiwanis Club.
Yep.
And put up flags. Do you want to just briefly talk
Sure.
about that?
Yeah, so every year we, as Kiwanians, try to gather our crew and others that want to join and just be a part of the community and be a part of the process. We go out to the cemetery and we put up flags up around through the interior of the cemetery to support our heroes and men and women in armed forces. So, we do that every year, and some years we have 4 or 5 of us that put up multiple flags, and there's usually 4 or 5 that take them down. But this year was tremendous. I was able to have my 3 boys participate. They were back for the weekend, the holiday weekend, which I enjoyed. And we had multiple Kiwanians as well as families of the Kiwanians and just friends of the community showed. I bet there was 30 people, 25, 30 people out there putting up flags.
I got there at 9, which was the time we were supposed to be there. And I pull in and park, and you guys are, I'm not kidding, 2/3 done. You were way down the road at the end.
Yep.
You guys knocked it out
Yeah.
quickly. Now, I will say, I did, however, contribute because on one of those flagpoles, the rope was snarled with the little clip up at the top of the pole, and I have at home an extendable. It's a pole with a little basket thing on it that you can use to put light bulbs in without getting a big ladder out in your house.
I did see you out there. I was wondering why you were out in the rain with a light bulb retractor and installer.
Keep in mind, in case lightning, in case we had lightning, I had Darren Neufeld get on his pickup bed and reach up. So I wanted to make sure we had him holding metal, standing on metal. I thought that would be the best way to go.
The safest for you anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we got that done, and then we had a lady come up and happened to be standing by Bob Brookins and Casey Case. I don't know if you were there then or not, but
I don't think so.
She was looking for a particular grave and having trouble finding it, and then she said it was in Section 2, Row 14, and man, we couldn't find it. And finally went up and we found the book and looked, and it was actually Section 14, Row 2, which that does make a difference.
It
but
does.
In any event, people got out. The cemetery were decorated with memories of loved ones, and it was very nice. And I
agree.
When you get one last thing, I was not there when you guys discovered this, but you got the avenue of flags that the Kiwanis put them up on. Then there's the big flagpole right in the middle, and I guess that one was broken off up at the top of the pole.
Yeah.
And the Marion City guys were called. I didn't make that call. I'm not sure who did. Maybe Casey. But in any event, Tim and Stephen came out with a bucket truck and fixed that thing that morning and had that big flag up there. So thanks to the city guys.
Yes. Little side story behind that. Someone had asked someone in our crowd there to climb up that 30, 40 foot pole and run that new rope through the pulley, and of course my sons were elbowing each other saying, hey, Dad can do it. And I bet you $20 he won't. Well, I bet you $5 he will. Well, I bet $5 he falls down and breaks his leg. So we had a little betting going on, illegal betting going on, but I opted out. I didn't want to.
Well, that's a smart move.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Well, that was after I told him that our insurance did not cover him as a Kiwanis.
That is right. Another thing, I went for a walk, a jog and a walk with one of my dogs, and I cut through the cemetery. This was Sunday. No, this was Monday, mid morning, and I noticed some of the flags were missing. And do you know about that, Gene?
Yeah, Casey told me. He said that he went out there, him and his wife, and there was I think 10 flags. They got wet, and that wind, and it just shredded them.
Yeah,
there was pieces of flags all over out there.
So they were soaked, and then with the wind, they just tore.
They just tore apart. And he said he did take 10 of them down, I think.
Yeah,
and so and we talked about maybe purchasing some new ones, the nylon ones, you know. But he says that they've got like 100 or so of those flags still down there, and so we thought, well, we'll just use through these old ones, you know. And if it happens again, we'll throw them away, and, you know, disregard them.
Well, we won't throw them away. We'll get them to the American Legion or someone to properly dispose of them.
Good. I was going to ask that question. A good segue into what can we tell the public if they don't know where we can send one of their torn or tattered or flags that have been damaged?
Rather than guess, because all I know for sure is that you don't just throw it in the trash. I would say you just Google how to dispose of a damaged American flag, and you'd get guidance to, I would guess, American Legions and maybe VFW.
VFW.
I was going to say, I think
tell you how to
that's
do
where
it
you take
legitimately,
them,
you know. And not do it. And, you know, also we didn't have a service Sunday afternoon. But Marge Schwartz posted that at 2:00, Florence guys did show up, and they done their 21 gun salute
Oh, nice.
and the taps for the people that was out there.
Very good.
She said there was a few people, going around. It was raining, but not real hard, just more of a mist. And she said that they did do a service. So,
Yeah, very good. I will send a quick shout out to the city and the maintenance crew who mow and weed eat and kind of keep the cemetery tidied up. Like I said before, I was out walking my dogs and been out there a couple of times during this holiday season, and it looks really sharp out there.
Yeah, it does look nice.
I mean, it takes some time and effort to keep it mowed and weed eated, but it looked good for the folks coming back to the community. So kudos to them.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
With that, why don't we come down the home stretch here
Let's do
on
it.
this episode of the Corner. And Gene, I know you've got some announcements you'd like us to make, and whenever you're ready, we're ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll start with saying that at the library, they've got things going on. The summer reading program is starting June 16, so a couple of weeks from now, and runs through July 18, and that's for ages preschool through 8th grade. So contact the library to get information about that.
We have a Mad Science program on Wednesday, June 18th at 10 a.m. That'll be at the Marion Community Center. It's free to all ages. You're welcome.
If you want to learn about composting, and who doesn't? I mean, let's come on. We've all like to know about composting.
Absolutely.
And how to make a worm bin. And if you don't know how to make a worm bin, I mean, everybody knows how to make a worm bin. But if you don't, you can learn at the Marion City Library Monday, June 9th.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Get on that.
And kudos to our track team, all state participants. There's a handful of them. We're going to make sure we recognize you today. And then hopefully, come Monday, Tuesday, we'll be able to recognize you as potential first place and or close winners. So,
And I know you'll agree with this. You make it to state track, that's a big deal.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're already a winner. Especially, I've got some nieces up here that deserve some praise. They've come a long way, as well as all of them. Sophie Dye in javelin, Dylan Kraus pole vault, the 400 and the 800, and she's setting records in Marion already. Taryn Kraus, her sister, in the 100 and 300 hurdles. Her dad ran the hurdles back in his day, many moons ago. Kaylee Johnson, pole vault. Brian Wynn, discus. Aaron Ringy, triple jump. Briley Smith, discus. Wyatt Soyas, 200. Kellen Wayner, pole vault. Kimma Wessner, I think it's Kenna Wessner, triple jump. Luke Wessel, 800 and 1600.
Yeah, two events, yeah.
Yeah, and the boys 4x1, 4x400, and 4x800 relays. So tremendous job, students and nieces. So,
This is just a little bit of an aside, I guess. Went to Wichita last week for the 6A regionals, and had a grandson who's a sophomore at Free State, and he made it to regionals in the javelin. And I always felt like if you make it to regionals, that's pretty darn good. But the thing that got me, we're watching the competition, and this one kid, I don't know how he did it. I mean, the kids are all doing great; they're throwing their javelins, but somehow he threw the javelin, but it went end over end, so it was going like whoof, 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 down the field.
how did it go?
Whoof, whoof, whoof.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got the picture
It's like
now.
who let the javelin out?
Nice.
But it didn't go very far, but it was spectacular
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, very, very, very good story. Oh, boy.
Well, I think that, I'm going to, Gene, where are you? I want Lang back in here. I demand that I not be saddled with this beside me anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
I think that kind of wraps it up for this episode.
think so.
Well, for our part of this episode, the good part's coming up in a moment here. We'll have an interview that I'm going to do with a couple of representatives of the Chingawassa committee and learn a little bit more about this upcoming, upcoming Chingawassa Days event.
Yeah, be sure you all come out. Bring your families. It's a huge event, so if you don't know about it, give Gene a call or snag one of us, and we'll get you a flyer.
Oh,
Go for it. What do you got? What's on your mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those are
we're
cool
still
socks.
running.
Those are cool socks, by the
You
way.
like my socks? You want to read them out loud?
Cool ass grandpa.
Yeah. I did not buy those for them.
I bet you did.
No, I didn't. Granddaughter gave me those.
Nice.
I was going to say, talking about Chingawassa Days, on Saturday at 1 o'clock on the Rock stage, the Retired Rhinos will be hosting. We'll have to go back and see how many years we've done this, but the rhino-sized Jenga or Chinga Jenga, we call it all kinds of things, but it's the full-size Jenga using 2x4s. We start off with 16 teams competing in 8 separate events. And then we just narrow it down from there. We get to the end. We have a final 4, and the winner gets $100, second place $75, third place $50, and fourth place $25.
Yep.
And with the roof over the stage, even if it's sunny, once you get past the first couple of rounds, you're in the shade the whole time. And we encourage you. You can sign up if you want to contact. I'm going to throw out a few names: Mike Powers, Jandy Moore, Judy Powers, Paige Bruner, Misty. No, Misty is going to be here in a little bit. Jesse Nickel, Christian Peterson, Danny Sherbert, Dave Crowfoot, Matt Powers, Lisa Suderman. Who else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. They're going to be mad at me. But anyway, those are all people all over the community. Contact any of them, or you can just show up in the park Saturday morning. We might be doing some sign-ups on Friday evening, but we for sure will be on Saturday morning. We'll get you signed up, and you can compete. All you need is yourself and a partner. We move along pretty quickly. From the time the judge on each tower says go, you have 60 seconds to make your move. So we're not going to let it drag out.
It's fun. Christy and I played a couple years ago, and we took second. I won't go into why we took second, but it's a fun event.
Christy messed it up again.
I'm not going to say it on air, but I'm just saying that, no, it's a fun event. So come on out and participate.
Yeah. So with that, I'm done. How about you?
We're done.
Bucko?
Let's move on.
All right, move on.
Have a great Friday and a Monday when you see this.
All right. Thank you, guys. And we do want you to stay around and watch the interview that Misty and Amber and Mike did about Chingawassa Days. We had Carrie called in here the other day, and she talked about the Dinky Ducks. So be sure and go out and watch that and so forth. And also, I was given a little movie from Mike Powers here that I hope that I can.
I didn't say you could put that movie on TV.
Yeah. So if I can get it working, it's about Chingawassa, isn't it?
It's about the bed races.
It's about the bed races. Okay. Yeah. So if I can get that working, it'll be on the end right after the rest of this stuff, the 2 different segments. And so we just ask you that you do subscribe. If you're watching it, just down in the lower right-hand corner, all you have to do is click on the little red button. You don't have to fill out any lists or subscriptions. You do not have to pay anything for doing this. But it does help. We'd like to get it up. The numbers on it.
Use your words. Use your words. Use your words, Gene.
Okay. This is going to be a cutout.
What? Doggone, all the best part.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so that takes care of it for today. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody out there in YouTube land. Coming to you from on the corner in downtown Marion.
Good night, Gene Winkler, wherever you are.
We are recording. 3, 2, 1.
So I'm lucky enough to be here today with 2 lovely young ladies. I know. I'm trying to, got to make you feel comfortable. That's the idea. I've got Misty Head and Amber Powers, and they are members of the Chingawassa Days Committee. And if you don't know, you should. But Chingawassa Days is coming up here real soon. I think it's June 6th, 7th, right?
6th, 7th, and 8th.
6th, 7th, and 8th. First full weekend in June. And a lot of the things, if you're familiar with Chingawassa Days, a lot of the things they've had in the past are going to be here again. And there's going to be some new stuff. And I think there's even going to be some old stuff brought back maybe in a new way. So let's talk a little bit about that. Who wants to go first? Thank you for volunteering, Amber.
Sure.
So Friday night or Friday afternoon, however you want to call it, is always the kickoff.
Yes.
And generally that has been with the barbecue in the park and going from there. But I noticed this year that there's a fashion show. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
It's being put on by the 4-H kids and the auxiliary, and I think they're getting like their outfits from the auxiliary store to kind of show off like how you can put a Western outfit together with stuff you can find down there.
Where's it going to be?
On the rock stage.
Oh, actually in the park
Yeah.
before the...
Yes. Maybe going on a little
barbecue.
bit while people are getting their food too, but just something
Okay.
new and different.
Well, that's cool. And we always want to, I think you guys always want to encourage people to bring lawn chairs with them.
Absolutely.
Because that allows you to, if you want to eat your food and have some entertainment, visual entertainment, you can watch the fashion show while you're eating. And who's sponsoring the barbecue this year?
Marion National Bank.
As they have for a long time.
For as long as I can remember.
Now we're going to throw it over to Misty because this allows her to feather her own nest. There's also an ice cream social. You want to tell us about that and who sponsors it?
Yeah, St. Luke Hospital will be sponsoring the ice cream social on Friday night, so everybody can get some free ice cream after the barbecue.
How long have you been on Chingawassa Committee, Amber?
This is my 6th year.
How about you,
Official 6th year.
Yeah. So I had to look back. I've been on since 2011. So
Wow.
a long time.
I'm just sitting here thinking because I was on the Chinga Committee for a long time and you were on with me,
Yes.
but only for a couple of years
Yes.
apparently then.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, luckily, that's why you're so good at it now is you were able to learn from me.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, of course. Learn from the best.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So after the barbecue on Friday night, then there's music or entertainment on the big stage in the park. You want to talk about any of those acts, guys?
Sam Schultz, he's been here last year and the year before. Is it 2 years now that he's been here?
Possibly.
Last year he was with his full band. They were called Petty Cash.
Oh, okay.
And I think everybody really liked him in that. And then this is just him and then 2 other guys. I'm not sure if they are a part of Petty Cash or 2 different people. I'm not 100% positive, but it's Sam Schultz and then 2 others that perform often with him.
Okay. And then we've got the Steel Scarecrow. That's
Yes.
spelled weird,
It
but
is spelled
It is.
and Dallas Pryor and I. Those are country acts.
Yeah, kind of. I think they're
What
both
country?
country. Red Dirt is probably Dallas Pryor a little bit.
I
Yeah.
wanted you to say Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. And still, Scarecrow was supposed to perform last year, but due to the rain, they did not. So we thought we would have them back this year to give them a chance to
I think
perform.
they're a little rock too, like
Yes.
a little mix of both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit older rock, and I think several of them are local people too from Stone.
Saturday morning, the Kiwanis will be having the pancake feed in the park, and we
Yep.
want to. Kiwanis, of course, is the actual sponsor of Old Settlers Day. They are not the sponsor of Chingawassa, but they're one of the sponsors. Provide some services and such, and the pancake feed is always a good. I'm picking that up because I'm a Kiwanis. The pancake feed is always a good fundraiser for Kiwanis. It helps us do other things for the community, so support that too. And then let's drum roll, please. Brr, okay, didn't mean literally, but but the bed races are back.
Bed races are back.
So who wants to fill us in on what's going on there?
So it's really the same as it has been. We're trying to vamp it up a little, get more of the younger crowd excited about it. I mean, I remember when I was in high school that Carlson's always had a team like Chase and Nick and when they were younger, and school. So I would like to see like a high school team or like a sports team put a team together.
Well,
So
yeah,
we're
you get
really-
the football team, the volleyball
Yeah,
team, whatever.
We're
yeah.
really trying to get some of the younger crowd into it. It's just a group of 5, team of 5 people, 4 runners, 1 rider. We would love it if you would dress up in a group costume.
Because you can win cash
Yeah,
prizes.
there is a cash prize for group costume as well as first and second. And it's Main Street. We're just doing sign up that morning to make it easy. And you just come and tell us you want to do it, and we'll set up a bracket or whatever.
So we're right in front of the post office, I presume.
Yes.
And that's you
Yes.
can, and the registration will be somewhere around there.
Yep.
So
Just find
I
someone
show
in an
up
official
if I
shirt.
wanted to participate with myself and 4 other people. Somebody has to be on the bed. Somebody has to push the bed. And where are we going to go? Down a block, around a pylon or something? and
Around
then
a cone and then back.
Okay.
Yep. It's not far, but it's not easy to push that
No,
bed.
no, it would not be. And how much am I going to win when I win?
First is $100. Second is $50, and then group costume is also $50.
Okay, so we can dress up as I can put on my Starfleet uniform and come. We
Please
can be a whole
don't
Star.
actually. Don't do that.
Can all be Star Trek. You don't want to do that? I think that would be really good. And then we can name our bed the Enterprise.
The mothership.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, even better.
In the old days, when it was done, I know that we had a couple of beds available, but then also people had hospital beds that they could, decorate in advance, whatever. I think this year you're supplying the beds,
Yes.
right?
We have 2 beds.
2 beds. So don't. I guess if they came to you and got permission from somebody that their bed was a fair competition, that'd be one thing. But generally speaking, they don't have to worry about that.
No.
They can just come up with something that might be entertaining costume-wise or whatever. Or just get a bunch of, stud high school girls or high school boys to come show how fast they can push a hospital bed, right?
Yep.
Sounds like a winner to me. So that, other than you got the pancake feed, then you go right into that. And then what else have we got going during the day on Saturday?
Cody, Crowfoot, and Diamond C are doing a half-mile speed walk. She usually puts on our runs, and she does a great job. They always go off well, and everybody loves them. But this year she wanted to do something different. So she's just doing a half-mile speed walk. No running, just speed walking from the library to the rock stage,
Yes.
I believe.
Okay.
And there's no pre-registration. You just registered down at the library. I'm assuming she'll have a table. And I think she's got a little bit of swag, like a crossbody bag, maybe, I think, when you get when you sign up. So
what if I start off at the library and I walk real fast with my little stubby legs and I get, around the corner of the courthouse and then I just run like crazy for
disqualified. Yep. She wants judges. So if you do that, I'll be a judge and I'll call you out. You're gone. Can't win.
Let's jump to maybe backwards on this, the disc golf tournament. Where's that taking
The
place?
county lake.
Okay. And who is running that, do you know?
Remington Putter isn't on the committee anymore, but he's still overseeing that because he's very involved with that. And in Emporia, I believe. And it's Ducks Flying Discs. They're the one putting it on. You register online through an app, I think. Or
Okay.
no, I guess it says here. More info at discgolfscene.com.
Okay. So that's one thing I do like is that the part of what Chingawassa has always been about is to have something, maybe not for everyone, but to the extent possible, a whole variety of things. Maybe the only thing you take part in is the disc golf tournament. But if you have a good time, then, and maybe you can come to the concert Saturday night or Friday night and still have a good weekend with it. So Misty, let's jump back to you in terms of things going on during the day in the park. Anything new there that we need to be aware of?
We do have a couple of different new things. I think we're going to have a mechanical bull that will be available for anyone who wants to ride and try out their cowboy riding on the mechanical bull. We will
Is
have
that all day in the park?
I think he's there till like 5
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay.
I
or
think-
7.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% positive on that.
Put on my cowboy hat.
Yep, put on your cowboy hat. We will have pictures with Pete the Rhino a couple of different times throughout the day on Saturday that if you want to do that, you can come and get your picture taken, they will have also the Dinky Duck races that is sponsored by St. Luke Hospital. Also, Human Battleship is something that is returning this year.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Okay, so it's like the game Battleship. We will be down in the sand volleyball area, and they will split that in half to where you cannot see each other from the sides. And you'll have a team of people, and I don't think there's really any amount as long as you have, several team members.
Six.
So you can
Six,
be
six
a,
people.
Oh, have to have six.
Yes.
Six
Okay. I
people
thought
on
maybe
the
you
team.
could be an aircraft carrier or a battleship or.
No, yeah, 6-person team.
Okay.
Okay.
Very
All
good.
right.
And so you will line up on each side, and then I think they use a sheet or a tarp to divide it off so that you cannot see. And then they launch water balloons at each other in order to see if they can hit the people on the other side.
So if I'm the first guy in the line or the last guy in the line, whatever, but a balloon hits me, then do I leave the field or am I just I'm dead?
Yeah.
Yep. You're
Just
done.
like the game.
Yep.
So when all six of my team get, my battleship is sunk.
Yep.
Yep.
You're out.
Okay. Let's go ahead and jump ahead real quick. Well, no, before we do that, what do we have in the way of food in the park this year?
We have a lot of, Brent has done a great job of getting a lot of new and different food vendors this year. We've got a crepe place. Tortoise Mary's is back, which they've been in town before. They're Mexican. Nick Carlson will be there. Is there burgers?
Yep, there's burgers.
Kettle corn.
I like, and every year someone buys me kettle corn.
Lemonade. Well,
That was it. That was for you to buy me.
oh, I'm not buying you kettle corn. No. Sorry, you can ask your son. He might. I was like, oh, no. Wagon Wheel we'll have their limeades and lemonades again.
Always good. Always good.
I was trying to.
We have quite a few. I mean, in the years past, we've only had maybe 8 food vendors.
Yeah.
And this year, we actually have 16 different food
Wow.
vendors. So there should be a lot of variety. So that's why we not 100% sure what we're having, because there are so many that it's hard to keep up with what
Well,
all
and I
we're
know, at
gonna
least
have.
from my experience back on the committee, was sometimes you'd have a vendor that maybe they sell fry bread. And but we already have somebody selling fry bread, but they say, but we can also do donuts or
Right.
whatever.
Yes.
So you don't know exactly from looking at it which one they're doing, but you're not doubling up.
Right. No. Try not to double up so that it doesn't
Okay.
take away from each other. So.
Tell me about your bands on Saturday.
Our band's on Saturday. South Hall is our opener. Well, no, I guess. No, yeah, that's right. I was confused. It says Sam Unruh right there. But Sam Unruh is performing during the day on the rock stage a couple times.
Okay, during the day. All right. That's good.
And then, so South Hall will be our opener at 7:30. They'll take the stage. I have listened to them quite a bit, and they're country, but I think they've got a little bit of a rock edge to them too. Mm-hmm. They're not like your typical, like, my girlfriend broke up with me, my truck broke down or whatever. They're a little bit edgier, I would say. But the pictures I've seen, they're a young group of guys. I think they've been in Manhattan before a few times. I've had quite a few people come up to me, and they're a little shocked that South Hall is opening for Josh Abbott. They thought that South Hall would be the main act.
Really? Well, that's always a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that a lot of people are excited to see them, and if you haven't listened to their music, I would recommend. They've got a couple good catchy songs out there that are really good. So I'm excited to see them. And Josh Abbott, he is red dirt country. He has a pretty big following too, probably similar to Casey Donahue, who we've had a couple times. They're a big band. They've got 11 people coming.
Wow, that's a big band.
Yeah, South Hall has 12. Well, I don't know if all 12 are in the band, but there's 12 people coming. But so they will, no doubt that they'll put on a good show. I'm excited I've listened to their music a little bit too, and it's red dirt country. If you like that, that's where you'll want to be that night.
For those who maybe aren't experienced or used to what has been the main act the last couple of years. Give me some kind of a definition of red dirt country. Either one of you.
I don't know. It's
So the cowboy, instead of having buffalo poop on his boots, he's got red dirt. Is that it?
yeah. I mean, it's a mix of what'd you say, Texas and
Oklahoma.
a little bit.
I don't feel like it's, to me, country is kind of twangy. And
Yeah,
I don't think
that's a good
this is more,
description.
like you said before, edgier country
Yeah.
in a way.
So Sunday, what's going on Sunday?
So Sunday there will be a community church service, and they will have praise and worship music at the Performing Arts Center, and they will also have Blake and Jenna Bowlerjack that are going to be giving their testimony.
Okay. And what time does that start?
That starts at 10:30 on Sunday
10:30.
morning.
Okay. So you got the whole weekend covered for sure.
Yes,
We do.
So I've kept you here a long time. I know that you're sweating because you were scared to death we were going to
And it's
be
hot in
mean
here.
to you. Anything that we haven't touched on that you want to throw out there other than encouraging people to come participate in Chingawassa Days?
I would just say just starts Friday night, June 6th at 5 and goes through Sunday and finishes with a church service. Just come out and bring your family and your friends and enjoy a good evening in the community. The other thing that we didn't really touch on is that we will have a beer garden as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it'll be the same as last year that you will be able to go up to the stage to have a beer as well. So
You don't go to the stage to have a beer.
Sure.
The whole
take your
concert
beer.
area is open if you.
Yes.
And I know that because I've seen the rules. They're very strictly controlled so that nobody underage gets beer.
Yes.
And I know that there's I think a very appropriate amount of security. You're not going to get thrown on the ground and handcuffed because you're carrying your beer to your seat.
Right.
But everything will be controlled, and you had it last year, had zero problem.
No
Yeah,
problems.
we
It
didn't
went
have any
over very
issues.
well.
Well, Misty, Amber, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Next year, send a couple of guys because
Yeah.
I don't know if I can tolerate either one of you again.
Feelings mutual.
Yeah.
See you at Chingawassa.
All right.